do with the
Right.
actual location.
That's
Atlanta
neat.
Dream.
Oh, we gotta.
It's 9 a.m.
Oh my God, it's 9 a.m. on a Thursday. We gotta head out.
See ya.
Sackville, New Brunswick.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
Hello, and welcome to CHMA's local news at 106.9 FM and CHMAFM.com. We are broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes, on the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. I'm Mike Robar. It's Thursday, August 5th. In the news today, tomorrow marks the beginning of the Sandpiper Festival, with opening ceremonies starting at 6 p.m. The ceremonies will feature lawn games and live music performed by Stacey Reed and Kids in the Dorchester Village Square. To accommodate the festivities on Saturday, Cape Road in Dorchester will be closed from Main Street, or the Route 106 intersection, to School Street from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. A full schedule of activities can be found at tantramar.nb.com/events. And a guided climate change walking tour is going ahead this Sunday, August 9th, from 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. The walk starts at the Tantramar Visitor Information Center, goes through the Waterfowl Park and into downtown. Participants will explore how Tantramar is fighting climate change through sustainable projects like the Lawrence Street Retention Pond, as well as how wetlands and urban green spaces help reduce flood risks and heat. The walk was originally scheduled for last Thursday, but had to be canceled due to rain. And now, while the Peck's Cove Bridge has been in the news lately, the municipality of Tantramar is starting a committee to figure out how best to handle a different piece of historical infrastructure, the Wheaton Covered Bridge. The municipality of Tantramar is finally moving ahead with the establishment of a committee to determine the fate of the Wheaton Covered Bridge. A call was put out on July 24th asking for residents interested in serving on the ad hoc committee to submit a letter outlining their interest and qualifications by August 14th. This comes more than 6 months after a January resolution from Council to establish such a committee to identify potential funding sources and explore options for the bridge. Logan Atkinson, past president of the Tantramar Heritage Trust, says while he is certainly happy to see movement from Council, he wishes it would have happened sooner.
Now is the next best time after, as you say, a few years ago. So let's go. And I think, or at least I hope, that town staff will be assigned to work with that committee and to explore all the options without limiting ourselves because it's not budgeted in this year's capital budget.
For Atkinson, the fight is an important one to preserve the history of the region and the heritage of those who built here before us, and potentially use it to benefit us in the present, he said.
The Wheaton Covered Bridge is one of the most obvious examples of the built heritage of Tantramar, and for that it deserves a lot of respect and a lot of thought. So that's kind of the broader issue at stake here. I think the more narrow issue is that the Wheaton Covered Bridge could be, if sort of understood and utilized effectively, could be an exceptionally important piece of our tourism industry here in Tantramar.
Atkinson sees the bridge, along with 3 properties owned by the Tantramar Heritage Trust, the Campbell Carriage Factory Museum, the Four Corners Cemetery, and one of the last barns on the High Marsh Road, as a potential opportunity to draw more folks to the area. Built in 1916 and named for Thomas Wheaton, who lived in the last house on the road before the bridge, it spans 165 feet across the Tantramar River on High Marsh Road. The bridge remained an important piece of infrastructure for local farmers until its closure in July 2024. Beyond its economic use, it had long been a favorite location for wedding and prom photos, and many appreciated its quiet presence standing high on the marsh. Currently, the bridge is the property of the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, or DTI. In an email to CHMA, DTI confirmed that the department has no plans to restore the bridge and will instead install a 2-lane modular bridge next to the current one, with construction expected to begin in June 2027. During a special council meeting on June 22nd, John Eppel, Tantremar's Director of Engineering and Public Works, laid out 5 options to council. These included restoring the bridge in its current location for recreational use, which could cost more than $1 million, relocating the bridge to another site, which would likely be even more expensive, salvaging timber from the structure for reuse, constructing a replica of sorts after the current bridge is demolished, or simply leaving it under the ownership of DTI for removal. While Atkinson respects the research Eppel did in preparing his report, he is concerned Eppel was working from too narrow a set of assumptions, mainly that it simply costs too much for the municipality to take on a project when it was not budgeted for. Atkinson hopes the committee can approach the problem differently in exploring its options.
It's not simply a matter of saying, oh, the cost of restoration is $1 million. Oh, which is too much for a small community and we wash our hands of it. It's not enough for us to say, let's chop it up and make park benches out of it. I think we need to sit in a room with the ambition to save the bridge for reasons like those I've already mentioned in this conversation and see what we can do. We cannot give up and let the thing fall into the Tantramar River.
For CHMA, I'm Mike Robar.
I'm Clinton Davis with more CHMA news. Over the past several months, Tantramar Council has spent meeting after meeting wrestling with property assessments, emergency services, taxation, governance, the gas plant, internal investigations, municipal service volunteer complaints, and more. Now it's hoping other municipalities agree those challenges shouldn't be handled by local governments alone. In a special meeting held late last week, Tantramar Council approved 4 resolutions it hopes will eventually lead to changes at the provincial level. The resolutions will now be submitted to the Union of Municipalities of New Brunswick, or the UMNB. That's an organization that represents local governments across the province. Every year, municipalities can submit resolutions asking the organization to lobby the provincial government for legislative or policy changes. The ideas for the 4 resolutions didn't appear overnight. Many of them stemmed from discussions Council has been having over the past several months and years, including debates over property assessments, vacant land taxation, emergency service agreements, and the municipality's response to proposed industrial projects, including the potential Riggs Energy Atlantic gas-fired power plant. Rather than changing municipal policy, Council is asking whether some of these responsibilities should be handled differently or by someone else entirely. The clearest example is Council's request for the province to take over municipal code of conduct complaints. Jennifer Bourne is Tantramar's Chief Administrative Officer, and she explained why staff brought the resolution forward.
Part of the challenge that we're running into is that it is very difficult for council to police internally for code of conduct. So your ask as a council or the resolution to bring forward at the provincial level for advocacy is for UMNB to lobby the province and local governance commission to assume responsibility for code of conduct complaints involving municipal councillors.
As it stands, currently municipalities are responsible for investigating complaints involving members of their own councils. Tantramar Council now wants an independent provincial process and a standardized code of conduct that would apply all across New Brunswick. Council also approved 2 resolutions for the UMNB dealing with property assessments. Over the past year, councillors have repeatedly heard concerns from residents who questioned why similar homes can receive very different assessed values while municipalities set tax rates. Service New Brunswick determines the assessment those tax rates are applied to, and that has caused some confusion and upset between residents and municipalities, according to Council. They're now asking the province to strengthen oversight of residential assessments, while a separate resolution calls for additional verification of assessments on provincially owned or provincially funded properties. Municipal finances were the fourth focus of the resolution. Council wants the province to ensure municipalities receive the full value of federal payments in lieu of taxes. That's known as PILT. Those payments compensate municipalities for federal properties that don't pay traditional property taxes but still rely on local services. One prime example is the Dorchester Prison. Bowen said the change could make a meaningful difference.
If we received, 100% of our portion back to the municipality would certainly make a difference in our revenue sources.
Now, none of these proposals or resolutions changes provincial policy, of course. Instead, they'll first be reviewed by the Union of Municipalities of New Brunswick before potentially going before municipalities from across the province at the organization's annual meeting this fall. Councillor Alison Butcher explained that Tantremar's proposals are only the first step in that process and had it verified by Bourne after.
So when we send these on, they will look at them and perhaps give us some feedback about what viability they think it has. Sometimes it may end up being combined with another municipality that has a resolution that is similar to ours or connected. So we would be putting them forward for UMNB to consider bringing forward to the greater membership.
So whether the resolutions are ultimately adopted remains up to municipalities across New Brunswick, but together they represent the latest step in a broader conversation that's been unfolding at Tantramar Council over the past several months, where the responsibilities of municipal government end and where the province should play a larger role in overseeing, regulating, and funding the systems municipalities rely on. For CHMA News, I'm Clinton Davis.
Hi, I'm Dylan Kim, and you're listening to CHMA.
And here's your CHMA Atlantic update. RCMP say they're investigating anti-Semitic graffiti that was painted along Highway 104 in Pictou County. Police say the hateful graffiti was reported July 28th in Broadway, Nova Scotia, and was covered over by a construction crew shortly afterward. Mounties say a man driving a 2008 white Chevrolet Express cargo van was seen near the location where the graffiti appeared. RCMP say they treat hate-motivated incidents seriously, and they're asking anyone with information to contact investigators. Nova Scotia Health says the emergency department at Fisherman's Memorial Hospital in Lunenburg will face 2 temporary closures this week. The ER closed at 12 p.m. today and reopens Friday at 7:30 a.m. before shutting again at 12 p.m. Friday until 7:30 a.m. on Sunday. Officials say virtual urgent care will continue operating daily from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., including while the emergency department is closed. Patients are being encouraged to seek alternative care options during the shutdowns. Chorus Aviation is reporting lower second quarter earnings of $13.8 million, down from $32.4 million a year ago. The Halifax-based aircraft leasing company says results were affected by foreign exchange losses, higher amortization costs, and tax adjustments. Operating revenue totaled $349.4 million, compared with $324.6 million during the same period last year. Adjusted earnings slipped to $50.7 million from $51.3 million. Prince Edward Island is accepting applications for its Gender, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Community Enhancement Program. Through the program, the government has invested more than $2.4 million in projects promoting inclusion and community engagement since 2022. This year's recipients included the Boys and Girls Club of Summerside, whose Stick Together festival welcomed more than 400 Indigenous and non-Indigenous participants. The province says the program supports projects that strengthen diversity, belonging, and cross-cultural connections. Newfoundland and Labrador RCMP say they stopped a suspended driver in Centerville and seized his vehicle. Police say they pulled over the 54-year-old Trinity man on Tuesday night because officers were concerned about the roadworthiness of the SUV he was driving. Investigators determined his license had been suspended and they gave him a ticket. They also impounded his vehicle. The Mounties are reminding motorists to ensure that their license, registration, and insurance are up to date. A St. John's city councillor plans to hold a public forum after a girl was reportedly dragged into a wooded area by a stranger while playing a game of Spotlight. Ward 5 councillor Donnie Earle says the incident is deeply troubling and he believes public trails should be safe for families and children. In the meantime, the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary has increased patrols in the area. They're asking anyone with video or information about the suspect to come forward. And that has been your CHMA Atlantic Update.
Hey, this is Nana from Sussex, and you're listening to CHMA.
And now for the weather. Today, mainly sunny with a high of 33 except 22 along parts of the coast, humidex of 39, and UV index of 8 or very high. At night, a few clouds, fog patches developing after midnight with a low of 18. On Friday, sunny with a high of 32. At night, cloudy periods with a low of 20. On Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud with a 30% chance of showers and a high of 27. Then at night, cloudy with a 30% chance of showers and a low of 19. On Sunday, cloudy with a 60% chance of showers and a high of 24. Then at night, cloudy periods with a low of 16. On Monday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 25. Then at night, cloudy periods with a low of 16. Finally, on Tuesday, cloudy with a 60% chance of showers and a high of 22. And that has been the weather.
Hello, I'm Gerald Dukman from Dukman Design, and you're listening to CHMA.
And here's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update.
And what might be the greatest local controversy in some time over the weekend at Sappy Fest in the first ever Sackville Sappy Sack Race. A disputed champion came through where there was a photo finish at the end of the line between Ned Buckler and Freddie Smith. Going back to the tape, it seemed that Freddie Smith, in fact, crossed with his chest first, meaning that Freddie Smith of Sackville, New Brunswick, was the first ever Sappy Sack Race champion. In Major League Baseball yesterday, the San Diego Padres couldn't mount the comeback against the Arizona Diamondbacks. They lose 10-4. It was the Jays in 10 over the Houston Astros, 5-4 final there. Chicago Cubs, they defeat the Los Angeles Dodgers 7-6. Rangers shut out the Giants 6-0. The Rays keep their hold on the AL East lead with a 4-0 victory over the Colorado Rockies. Orioles 5-2 victors over the Angels. It was a one-run game. And W for the Mets. They defeat the Guardians 6-5. It was 3-2 victory for the Reds over the Athletics. Atlanta beats Miami 4-2. Red Sox keep trucking along in their postseason aspirations. Get a boost with a 4-0 victory over the Chicago White Sox. Cardinals with a 3-1 victory over the Yankees. Nationals 10-4 victors in 11 over the Phillies. It was a 2-1 W for the Kansas City Royals over the Minnesota Twins. Brewers double up the Pirates 4-2. And in the late one, thanks to a 3-run home run by Julio Rodriguez, the Seattle Mariners defeat the Detroit Tigers. New Brunswick Senior Baseball League action yesterday saw the St. John Alpines defeating the Fredericton Royals 9-2. 5-4, and it was the Charlottetown Islanders in extras over the Moncton Mets at Kiwanis Park. And finally, in the WNBA, it was the Atlanta Dream defeating the visiting Phoenix Mercury 96-82 to move to 19-11 on the season. The Liberty moved to 19-13 with a 92-86 victory over the visiting Seattle Storm. It was the Mystics at home by 4 over the Dallas Wings, 96-92 W for Washington. And finally, it was the Chicago Sky defeating the visiting Los Angeles Sparks, 95-88.
And that's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Please be sure to check out Brian's show on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. for more sports commentary.
Hey everyone, my name is Melinda and you are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
And now for what's happening in your community. On August 9th in Sackville, head on over to Green Slades on Charles Street at 2 p.m. to catch Sackville's own Juno-winning saxophonist Joel Miller with pianist Silvio Pupo in a special afternoon show, launching a new performance series called Joel's Jazz Matinee. You can buy tickets now at greensladesnb.com. Get them now before they sell out. Once again, this is Joel's Jazz Matinee, a new quarterly series starting on August 9th at 2 p.m. On Charles Street at Greenslades. Marshlight Theater Company presents a play, Zomblet, Dan Bray's exciting hybrid of Hamlet, Dr. Faustus, and zombies. Zomblet will be performed starting August 14th. It's outdoors, so bring your bug repellent and chairs. Join us in an alternate reality where Hamlet and Faustus join together to defeat zombies. It's a rollicking comedy that is sure to leave you gasping in fear. Tickets are $15 for adults and $5 for youth under 18. Tickets are available right now at marshlight.ca or at the door. This show contains comic gore and coarse language, and it will be taking place from August 14th to 23rd at 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the corner of Bridge and Weldon by the Quonset Hut. Join Tantramar Active Living and Culture this summer for Silver Lake Paddle Fest, an evening of paddling, community, and outdoor fun. Held monthly, this event invites you to bring your kayak, canoe, or paddleboard and take part in a relaxing group paddle on the water. Silver Lake Paddle Rentals will be offering free rentals during each event, so it makes it easy for everyone to join in. The next event will be taking place August 19th at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Lillis Fawcett Park. Join Tantramar Active Living and Culture for the Sackville Summer Fundraiser. Spend the afternoon at Beach Hill Park on August 22nd with family-friendly games, a barbecue, slip and slides, and fun for all ages from 3 to 7 p.m. For those 19 and up, there will also be an outdoor concert from 7 p.m. to 11 featuring beer and great local music. Concert tickets are just $15 and include a reusable commemorative beer mug. All proceeds will support accessibility improvements at the Tantramar Veterans Memorial Civic Center. Gather your friends, bring your lawn chair, and help make a difference while enjoying a great day of summer fun. This is going to be happening August 22nd at Beach Hill Park. And that's what's happening in your community.
And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantramar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com.
Listen to the night shift every Sunday at 9 p.m. on CHMA to hear Luca Capone spin a diverse, adventurous mix of sounds from psychedelic jazz to experimental hip-hop, tropicalia to music concrete, and a heavy focus on Canadian and independent artists. This is a show you don't want to miss out on.
Whether you're heading to work, getting off a shift, or waking up in the morning, you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, Voice of the Marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and this is the Late Morning Show. Today is Thursday, August 6th. I hope you guys are having a great morning and staying safe during this intense heat wave. Yesterday in particular was pretty intense, and I think we can expect more of the same for the next couple of days. So don't forget to wear your sunscreen, stay covered up, drink lots of water, and stay out of the sun if you can. We're going to go ahead and get started with some music. First up, we've got DB Tate with Before You Go, and then we're going to hear from Magnolian with Woods. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in, and enjoy the music.